Auditor Best Practices Panels. Active Directory Hygiene. Active Directory is the backbone of most organizations worldwide that governs access to resources and assets. Maintaining Active Directory hygiene ensures a reduced attack surface, resulting in significantly lowering the probability of security breaches and data exfiltration and exploitation. The Active Directory Hygiene panels display a set of key metrics that an organization must monitor to keep the system healthy and resilient against cybersecurity attacks. So two Active Directory user accounts hygiene and privileges ACL hygiene. So we're going to start with user accounts hygiene. Dormant privileged accounts. Active privileged accounts that have been dormant is a serious security hygiene issue. An organization can be severely impacted if such accounts are compromised. Dormant privileged accounts. I'm going to click on the report icon, and there you have executor. The account is executor. Dormant privileged accounts last 90 days. That's what it's currently set for. Days since last login 115. Again, if you want to export the report, PowerPoint, PDF, if you'd like to print it out, print this page. Back arrow. Password never expiring accounts. These accounts do not have the requirement to change their passwords. This is a serious concern as they bypass organizational password policies. Such accounts are susceptible to password cracking since a hacker has theoretically unlimited time to do so. Let's click on that report. There you have it. 8 users. Backspace. Password not required accounts. These accounts can be logged on into without a password. This is a very serious deviation from standard security practices since a compromised account can get automatic access to the organization. In my particular case, passwords not required, I have 0. Password change not allowed. These accounts cannot have their password changed by the user. Passwords left unchanged gives more time to attackers to crack them. In my case, I have 0, which is good. That's what I strive for. Dormant regular accounts. Active accounts that have had no logon activity for a defined stale period, by default is 90 days. Even if I click this on, you will see it's actually mine set for 90 days. These accounts must be disabled to reduce avenues of attack. So they're dormant regular accounts, they're not dormant privileged accounts, is the key phrase here. Never logged on accounts. Accounts with no logon activity since creation. These accounts, though never used, can still exist as a point of entry into the system for attackers. In this case, I have 3. Let's click on report. And these 3 users have never logged on, but they are enabled. Now let's go to the privileged ACL hygiene panels. 6 panels again. Active Directory ACL access control lists represent access control on all objects, users, groups, OUs, computers within the Active Directory. Discretionary access control, DACLs, defines trustees or principals granted access to an object. The Auditor Plus Best Practices Permissions ACL subpanel are a set of metrics that identifies DACLs that could potentially be exploited by an attacker. Vulnerable user accounts. Principals or trustees of these user accounts have the ability to reset the user account password and gain access. In this case, there are 15 of them. And these are the users. Back to the main panel. Vulnerable groups. Principals or trustees of these groups have the ability to add members to the group. This can be very dangerous if the group has powerful privileges or has access to sensitive information. Enterprise admins, domain admins, administrator group. Vulnerable computers. Trustees could gain code execution with elevated privileges on a computer. They have write privilege on that computer's AD object. If a trustee account gets compromised, the attacker could take over this computer to gain access. So let's look at the vulnerable computers. And there they are. The principal, two different principals for RAB3, domain admins and executor. Vulnerable organizational units. List all principals with full rights to the OU, organizational unit, and all objects contained in it. Care should be taken to ensure access rights given are needed and that there are no violations of the principle of least privileges. Click on this. Active Directory rights. Again, if you wish to export it, PowerPoint PDF, print the page, click on back. Vulnerable containers. List all principals with full rights to container and all objects contained in it. Care should be taken to ensure access rights given are needed and that there are no violations of the principle of least privilege. Full containers. And lastly, full access control. List all objects with principals that have full rights to Active Directory objects. The report can be used to ensure unnecessary rights have not been granted. Let's look at that report. Yes, they have. Generic all is full rights to the object. Quite a lot there.